Very good evening to everybody, and welcome to this next in our Music Revival online live stream series. This is Christopher Duigan coming to you from my home in KwaZulu-Natal on Wednesday, the 16th of June. It has just gone 6 p.m. and I'm very much hoping that you can stay with me for the next hour or so while I play you some beautiful music for today, which is a very important day in our country. It's a national holiday. This is the 16th of June. This is Youth Day. And it's a very important day because it really symbolizes and is a day to mark the beginning of a very important change in our country. And very importantly, it has resulted in a situation where we actually, the rights of every individual, regardless of gender or race or religion, on every possible way that anyone could be discriminated on. The Constitution in South Africa, which is really one of the most advanced in the world, protects every individual against any sort of discrimination. And so it's a very important day for everyone. And I am going to be playing a program this evening, not of revolution, so to speak, but certainly a program of hope and exuberance and positive energies, which is something that we all need right now. Now, first of all, if you are watching our live streams, I am really depending on your support. Financial support, spontaneous financial support. You will find all the links at our website, at my website, musicrevival.co.za. If you're watching on a big screen or a laptop and you have your smartphone available, there will be a QR code. And if you have never used a QR code, it's actually really, really simple. I'm surprised it took me so long to cotton onto them. If you point your camera on your smartphone, point your camera app, open your camera app and point it at one of those QR codes, it will open it, or you will be prompted to open in your browser directly at the correct link. So there's no chance that you're going to be sent off to some strange place. Of course, you can also, as I say, visit our website, musicrevival.co.za, and visit the donate page, which you'll find all the links there, take you directly to banking details and any way that you can possibly think of that you're able to send us funds. Send me funds. I am really depending on your support to survive in this difficult time. And of course, we're back to more stricter lockdown regulations. Now, you will have noticed in the last couple of weeks, we have a new intro, a new design that I put together with a sort of line drawing theme. And a number of people have asked about the artwork from that, which majority of it comes from the stock footage, which I have access to. But there's one particular drawing, which I think I'm very pleased with and I'm always very proud of, that was made by my friend Heather Cunningham, who's a very famous Hilton artist. And Barry's going to bring up a picture there of Heather. Heather's a very good friend of ours and actually painted a portrait of Barry and I. One of us has clothes on, you might say. So I know some of you might have seen that portrait. Heather has an amazing ability and a great interest in portraits and in particular nudes. And that particular picture that Heather has there is from the award from the 2013 inaugural Sanlam Portrait Award, a national award which was established to find the best portrait painters in South Africa, and Heather won first prize in that inaugural competition, and there you can see her pictured with the winning portrait. So I'm very, very proud of that. Heather very kindly did some drawings for me, and some time ago, it was 5 or 6 years ago, and through the magic and with her permission and support, I should say, I managed to turn that line drawing into an animated graphic, which then is, I think it fits very well within that set of images. So thanks, Heather, and please do visit her website, Heather Cunningham, to find out more about her work. I am going to dive straight into a selection of music then. As I say, songs or music of hope. It's going to be some exuberance, but still keeping in with our World Cafe theme. I'm going to start off with a South African composition, The Mountain, by the great South African jazz pianist Abdullah Ibrahim. The Mountain, a place of great spiritual depth and support and a source of real foundation layering in this country, I think. The second piece, the first movement from Beethoven Sonata Opus 22. I've played this piece of music before. As I said, Beethoven was particularly fond of this. He thought it was his best composition up to that time. It's very formal, it's very straightforward. Interestingly enough, I was reading today that the Canadian pianist Glenn Gould, famous for his recordings of Bach and the Goldberg variations, thought that this was actually Beethoven's weakest sonata and possibly a bit of a weak, poor composition. But we can't take everything that Glenn Gould says into great consideration or take too seriously, because Glenn Gould also said that Mozart was a bit of a nonsense composer and in fact got worse as he got older, which is an interesting point. So I'm going to play that Sonata Opus 22, the first movement, but it really shows Beethoven at this time full of exuberance and energy. In Beethoven, and I'm going to be talking about this on Saturday some more when I'm playing an all Beethoven program as to why Beethoven is so important. But Beethoven really represents the changing social upheaval of the time, thinking French Revolution, turn of the 19th century, and Beethoven really expresses this challenge of the norm, the exuberance, the excitement, these great anthems. Beethoven was very aware of his own value and importance as a composer, and even though he came from a very modest background and dealt with the well-to-do and the aristocracy and the prince and the princes and archbishops, he was never short of affirming his own value and saw that all people should be equal and treated equally. And that's a sentiment that he expresses really then in his Ninth Symphony. And the third of three pieces that I'm going to play, and I'm going to play a number of my own compositions tonight, a piece which I think will fit in very well, an improvisation, hasn't got a title, but an improvisation that I made in September last year, which has been very positive and a very uplifting, very serene, positive A major. For those of you who joined us last week, A major, a very bright, sunny key. So three pieces, Abdullah Ibrahim, Beethoven, and one of my own improvisations to start this program of music of hope and peace. one of my own improvisations there from last year sometime. I haven't given that piece of music a title, but it's just a melody, an idea that's stuck with me in my head. And it seems to be a very positive mood and a very positive color to include in this evening's program. Before that, you heard the first movement from the Sonata Opus 22 by Ludwig van Beethoven, marked Allegro con brio, meaning allegro, fast and lively, with brio, with lots of vigor. And I think I took the vigor part a little bit too seriously. Gosh, I started at quite a pace of quite a lot of enthusiasm, but I'm sure Beethoven would have done the same. I'm sure that's actually what he meant. And I started off that selection of 3 pieces with The Mountain, a place of great spiritual depth and source of great energy, a piece of music by Abdullah Ibrahim, the South African pianist and composer. And look who we've got. Oh, look, there's a little match. Lucy does want to come to me. Hello, Luce. Hello, Frida. Come on, buddy. Yes, you heard the music stop. Therefore, there's chance for you to come and say, look, it's little Lucy, the long-haired dachshund. Hello, little Luce. How are you doing today? Are you having a good time? Yes, you're having a fabulous time. You've been sleeping in the bed, and now you're coming through to the studio to see what's going on because there's music and everyone's here. Lucy making her first little appearance. Are you doing okay, Luce? Yes? Just fine. Just perfect. And then we're going to put you down. And then here is little Frida Pop. Hello, Frida. Frida, sweet puppet girl. Hello, Frieds. How are you doing? You're making a little squeaksy. Yes. Frida, what have you been up to? Oh, yes. You're having good fun and games with Lucy at the moment. I can see you're going to be playing with Lucy, you're going to be chasing each other around. Always part of the team, always part of the family, the dachshund gang, the pack of dachshunds keeping us company in our live streams here. This is on Wednesday, the 16th of June, our Freedom Day concert. So I'm going to continue with music that has great energy and that signifies something of this great political upheaval, you might say, or struggle or change. And this is music by Frédéric Chopin, one of his great polonaises. Polonaise being a Polish dance, Chopin, born in Poland, expresses his national pride and heritage and a call to arms. In fact, this piece is sometimes known as the military polonaise because in the middle, he actually includes what you might say is a trumpet call, a bugle call to arms. Let's all gather together and combine our energies and combine our forces musically even, if we'd have to, against the oppressive Russian armies who had invaded Poland itself. And it's really a very strong piece, a very positive and a very exuberant piece of music, the Polonaise in A major, opus 40. Second piece I'd like to play from South America, keeping in within our World Cafe feel, Astor Piazzolla, his a beautiful piece called Oblivion. And even though this is a piece of music which has a slightly melancholic and a very subdued nature to it, I think it still has a great sense of hope to it. Piazzolla's music, and one of the reasons why I've included this is that Piazzolla sought the opportunity to study in Europe. He went to Paris to study with the great composition teacher Nadia Boulanger, and took some of his compositions to her, and she was always not so impressed. Sort of, well, this is very interesting. It's very, new ideas and, very international style that you're writing in, but I'm not hearing your authentic voice. And Piazzolla explained that he was actually a composer of tangos and had a tango band, and that in Argentina, that was really where his musical style and his musical heart lay, and started playing some of these pieces for her. And she said, that is your voice, that is your style. And in the same way that I'm going to be talking a little bit about Ernesto Nazareth later on, the tango movement or the tango style of music through Piazzolla's combination of a very refined taste and a very great awareness of a more international style. He managed to elevate tango music from mere dancehall music into concert music as well. And this particular piece, Oblivion, is just such a magnificent composition. It's such a beautiful, haunting melody. It's so beautifully crafted, and it has such wonderful depth that it seems to me a great piece of music to put in today's concert. And then the last of the 3 pieces, one of my own compositions again from a set of 4 nocturnes, which I composed during a trip to Barcelona. And this is a third of the 4 nocturnes, which is a piece that is a great favorite of mine, and I think of many others. Also, again, a very free-ranging melody, a very broad melody that has a great sense of upliftment to it, you might say. The second set of our playlist this evening was Freedom Day concert. I'm focusing on music that brings great hope, joy and comfort, and I played there one of my own compositions. It was one of my own pieces from the album Midnight Blue, the third of the three nocturnes, or third of the fourth nocturne, should I say. That was the nocturne number 3. Before that, I played Astor Piazzolla's Oblivion, wonderful composition, full music that he wrote for an Italian film of Henry IV, and I started that set of 3 with Frédéric Chopin's Polonaise in A major, not the A flat heroic Polonaise, but the military Polonaise, sometimes known in A major, opus 40, number 1. I'm going to continue with a set of 4 pieces back to South African music, with the piece, first of all, the South American music, wonderful composition that I play, and I was reading a little bit more again about Ernesto Nazareth, and once again this idea that Nazareth had played in cinema houses, he had played in silent films and also in the foyers of movies where his music became particularly popular. But it wasn't just light music he was actually playing Brazilian tangos of a very new classical style as well as waltzes. And when some of these pieces he eventually played in a classical recital, because even in Brazil it was generally acknowledged that all the great wealth of knowledge and the great musicians and the great repertoire would come from Europe, and musicians who studied in Europe, Brazilian musicians who studied in Europe and came back to play in Brazil. The composer Ernesto Nazareth went into a recital and played some classical pieces, but then included a number of his own compositions in this traditional Brazilian tango and waltz style. And it caused a riot. The audience were absolutely appalled that in a classical environment this Brazilian music should be played. However, time has passed, and now, as I've always said, this is such wonderful music. He includes the Brazilian rhythms, he includes something of the Brazilian temperament in these very classically defined pieces, and this line between classical art music of Europe and music of other cultures is now largely blurred, thank goodness. So this is his wonderful composition, Ouro sobre Azul, I think is the correct word, the correct title, Gold over Blue. And I think I couldn't actually find exactly what he was referring to. The only idea that it refers to something of great awakening, a beautiful beginning, or a great beautiful scene. And I think it actually refers to something of a sunrise, the gold over blue of the sunrise, maybe over the ocean. So really wonderful composition, Gold over Blue by Ernesto Nazareth. The second piece, L'Accouchement des Langues by Mackay Davesh, the South African composer, a song of great longing and searching, but also of hope. And then I'm going to end off with the evening session with 2 pieces, one by Frédéric Chopin, his Nocturne, opus 55, number 2. This is a nocturne that I play quite regularly. I'm always fascinated by it, not only because of its incredible detail in the left and the right hand, which seem to be quite independent at times, but also because much of Chopin's nocturnes are very reflective. I don't want to say they're light pieces, but they have a reflective quality. They have a sense of calm, and this piece of music has a great sense of upheaval almost. There's great intensity to it, and I think a great sense of hope again. This, especially the way the piece of music ends. It is calm, it is resigned, but at the same time it carries great hope forward into the future. And the last piece of music I'd like to play in this evening's moment of South African themes, we'll play one of my own compositions again with a very popular Umbumbulu, one of my own pieces, a piece of music the title of which derives from a village between Durban and Pietermaritzburg where I live, which was a very fanciful title, as remarked on by my friend Joanne Rosario, the British saxophone player who was visiting. So this is music by Ernesto Nazareth, Mackay Davesh, Chopin Nocturne, and then one of my own pieces, Umbumbulu. That was one of my own compositions by popular requests. Most requested piece, not only I think of my own, but of any of the pieces that I play on the live stream. Always the requests come back for that Umbumbulu, one of my own pieces from the 4KZN Landscapes. That, of course, does bring us to an end of this evening's session. We hope you've enjoyed the music, the selection of music that brings us hope, positive energies for this Freedom Day, a national holiday, a national day of great importance in South Africa on the 16th of June. And if, of course, once again, you are able to support us, please do visit our website, musicrevival.co.za, or follow the QR codes, which will be coming up on the screen at any time. Thanks, Barry, for the technical support once again for this evening's program. We've hoped you've enjoyed the decor and the setting, the flowers, and we have more guest appearances. Let's see who is here. Here is always first, little Lucy. Hello, little Lucy. Lucy, what have you been doing today? You had a lovely day in the sun and in the bed. What did you do today, Luce? Nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. You just lay in the bed, lay in the sun, and then you had dinner. Oh, and you've been playing with Frida. Yes, you and Frida have been playing a lot today. Yes, you've had great fun. A little Lucy, you still waited to go to the parlour. And let's see little Freedy Pop. Little Wendy Pop's nowhere to be seen this evening. Hello, Freeds. How are you doing? Oh, yes. Freedy, the special Merle spotted. You spotted like the keyboard, all black and white. You want to play the piano? Yes. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, Frida Pop. That brings us to an end of this evening's session. It's 17 minutes past 7. Thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday when I have a very... Oh, here comes Wendy Pop. Come, Wendy Pop, say hello. Everyone wants to say hello to Wendy Pop. Wendy Pop, little dufty with the beating tail, the never-ending... Oh, you got to turn around. The never-ending beating tail. On Saturday night, I am playing an all Beethoven program. Why Beethoven, which I'm going to try and answer very briefly why I think, in my own opinion, of course, as always, why Beethoven is such an important composer. And fantastic music. I'm really hoping to play, if not 2, possibly even 3 complete sonatas in the hour session, just over an hour. And that's going to be quite a lot of heavy going for everyone, including myself. But of course, it does mean that you can watch it at your leisure and repeatedly as much or as little as you want. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is the end of our live stream. We're coming up for our live stream number 130 shortly. Please do continue to support me in this project, which is going out worldwide. It's the only way that I'm able to make a living at the moment, bringing you these live streams without charge. I am depending entirely on spontaneous and voluntary support from you, the viewing audience. So please do visit our website and keep this whole project going. It's been an incredibly exciting project for me and for everyone involved. Look after yourselves, stay well, keep well, and we look forward to seeing you next time.